who's a senior.
Sorry, I'm gonna record this too.
No worry. So my son is Alex. He's a senior. Thanks everybody for taking some time. Bear with me. I'm not a great Zoomer. I know many of you have had to do it over the last year and a half, but I am one of those that have not. So bear with me a little bit here. The reason why we're doing this presentation is when you guys did the return to swim presentation, that was really more about getting everybody back in the pool. With racing literally around the corner, Swim Ontario does require us to follow certain protocols so that way we can ensure safe racing. So that's everything from masks to distancing to how do we get in the pool, how do you get out of the pool, what's the pathway around the pool. So really that's what we wanted to go through with everybody. There's a role that was created by Swim Ontario that is now mandatory for all of our swim meets, and that's called the safety coordinators. It is a required role. It's not the safety marshals or the marshalling that you would remember on a regular swim meet, but it is somebody who is designated specific solely to ensuring that the COVID protocols are being followed within the facility and specifically on the pool deck. So I am a member of the board, but I've also been part of the Return to Racing Committee. And I've also been, I'm also acting as safety coordinator. There's two other safety coordinators that have been, who have volunteered. One of them is Sarah Emerton. Sarah, I don't know if you're on here.
She's there.
She's there, okay.
I'm here.
Great. So Sarah, do you want to introduce yourself and who you belong to?
Where's my camera?
Sorry, I put you in the spot.
No, it's okay. I was just trying to find, oh, there it is, way over there. Okay, I'm here.
Awesome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Emerton. Been with the swim club for, I don't know, maybe 10 years now. We've got 3 kids on the team. We've got Drew and Ty Emerton, both on senior, and Jane Emerton in junior. So we're really happy to be part of the safety coordinator role and looking forward to seeing everybody back in the pool racing. Thanks.
Perfect. And that way, if you see her on deck, you guys will know why she's there and what she's doing. And then Caroline, are you on as well? Oh, if you're on, we can't hear you. I hear something.
Yeah, I'm joining now. Hi, I'm at work now.
Oh, geez, okay.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Caroline. I'm the mother of Yusuf Ibrahim in senior development and Sarah Ibrahim in novice. We've been around, 9 years in Milton Marlins. And I will be helping as a safety coordinator.
Perfect. So that way, if you guys see us on deck, and if there's any parents that are on here, we would be looking for one more safety coordinator. So if anybody is interested, please reach out and let me know. And we can talk to you a little bit more about that looks like. So bear with me. I'm going to try to pull up the PowerPoint and share it with everybody. No, of course it doesn't want to work for me. Richard, do you happen to have it? I don't know why it's not coming up for me. Sorry, guys, technical difficulties.
He said 99.7% of United workers have this vaccine.
Okay, so as we try to figure out how to pull it up, or I don't know, Sarah, if you have a copy, for some reason it doesn't want to come up for me, I apologize.
I'll share my screen here and see if I can figure this out.
Yeah, if you can, I'll start talking through basically what it is. Oh, you do?
Got it? Okay.
Nice.
Or slowly loading.
No worries. So really what it means, guys, is it's probably not too much different than what you're doing right now with the pool. Perfect. Thank you, Richard. So really what it comes down to is this is both for parents, but also, or for swimmers, but also for parents, just so you know what we're asking the kids to do. So upon arrival, really what we're now asking is, as you guys do in school, or have been doing in school, normally you would have to do the screen online and then just show the kind of the green pass at school. Swim Ontario does require us to do an actual documentation of the COVID screen. So prior to Friday, Richard will send you guys out a link to a Google form that you will be required to complete prior to entering the facility. So if you're not familiar with a Google form, it's pretty simple. Just follow the link. You could pull it up on your form and complete it. The form has to be completed no more than 12 hours before. So for the seniors, especially who are starting it at 5:15, you could do it at, as early as 5:15 supper time the night before. For everybody else, you've got to make sure you have at least 12 hours before you enter. And it has to be done at least a half hour before. The reason why we're asking for everyone's cooperation to do that is because we are required to print off a copy of those results and give it to the coaches to double check their attendance and that everybody has completed it. And we also have to give it to the meet manager and referee. That is part of what's required before we even get you racing. So please make sure, put a reminder in your phone before you go to bed. For those of you who are starting to swim at 7 o'clock, even before you go to bed, put a reminder in and put that screen, complete that screen for us so that it'll save time the next morning. If it is not completed, you will not be able to pass go at the entrance. We will not have tablets to complete. So please just make sure that you've got that completed so we have it all done before you enter the facility. As with everything, arrive on time and come dressed and ready to go. We're still okay with the weather, so make sure you're dressed and ready to go onto the pool deck. The difference with the meet is going to be that you guys need to enter through the south doors, which is basically the hockey entrance as opposed to the pool entrance. Once you get there, myself or one of the safety coordinators will be there. We'll double check that you have completed the screen, and then you'll be walking through. One of the next slides in a second will show you a map with some arrows just to kind of be clear on which way to go. Again, you're going towards the pool, through the change rooms, no stopping, keep on going. We're going to try to discourage kind of chatting in the hallway. So if you guys could kind of go on a mission, that would be great. Once you get through screening, go to the pool deck, through again the change rooms, and then we're going to follow a counterclockwise. So for those of you who can picture our pool, the little pool is the side that you're going to be going around to get onto the bleachers, and then pick a spot on the bleachers, and that will be your spot for the duration of the session. Please sit in that one spot. That's where you're going to stay throughout the whole time. They will be marked off as 6 feet. Please stay in that spot for the duration. If you decide that you're going to switch, please switch as you're sitting down, and that is now your designated spot throughout where all of your stuff will be. One of the things that we are asking for is please remain until the end of the session. So if you're done your swim, it's going to be a little bit different this week, but we're going to try to get you guys used to this, for the next, prepare for the next swim meets. Please try to make sure that you are staying for the duration. So if you're done your swim, or if you know you're only going to do 2 and you're leaving early, unless you've made arrangements to leave early with Richard or any of your coaches, we are asking that you stay until the very end, and then you leave through the pool doors at the very end. One of the big things that we are making sure that you have is at least 3 masks. One will be a dry mask, and you're likely going to have a couple that are going to get wet. I'm going to call it a plastic baggie. Many of us just call it a Ziploc bag. Put a Sharpie on it, put your name on it, and bring your own water bottle as well. The reason why, we'll talk a little bit about what that's going to look like for when you're marshaled until you get up to the deck, up to the block, and we'll do that in the next slide. The other thing is you can bring your own hand sanitizer, but we will make sure that there's sanitizer throughout the pool as well. Okay. Next slide, Richard, if you don't mind. Thank you. So if you follow the arrows, the hockey entrance or the south entrance is indicated here on the left side. You're going to follow the red arrows once you're cleared from screening. You're going to follow the arrows all the way into the change room. Come out of the change room, go down along that left side where it's highlighted yellow, which is beside the small pool by the glass walls. And then you're going to go directly onto that bottom yellow area, which is where the bleachers are. They will be marked. There is enough room for the swimmers that are on deck during that session, okay? We are not going to be using that little area, that second yellow area that's extra seating. So if we have any extra, you're welcome to sit on the ground there, but we should be fine on the bleachers. Then when you leave, excuse me, if you go back to the green arrows, you're just going to leave out of the pool entrance. So that's going to be different because now, right now, you guys are going in and out of the pool, but you're going to go in through the hockey and out through the pool. Okay. Next slide, please. Thanks. So warm up is not going to look too much different than basically what you guys are doing right now. The coach will give you any specific instructions. I'm assuming, Richard, as far as what lane that they're going to be in, what that's going to look like for a warm up. If there's anything different, Richard and your coaches will give you directions. What we are going to ask, though, is until you're called up for your warm up or until you're called up or until you need to get marshaled for your race, please just stay in your seat wearing your mask at all times. So the minute you enter the facility, your mask's got to be on, and your mask is going to stay on right up until you get to your block. Again, we'll talk about it in a second. We want to make sure that you're bringing a Ziploc bag because the only thing that you're going to have when you go up to the block is going to be a mask. Your gear is already going to be on and ready to go. And the last thing you're going to do before you step up onto that block is take your mask off, throw it in a Ziploc bag. It'll be there for when you come back after your race is done. You put it right back on, and then you follow that counterclockwise circle back over to the bleachers. Okay. We will go through questions at the end. So if there is anything, by all means, you can chat or raise your hand. But otherwise, for now, we'll kind of go through it at the very end. Again, here's another map of the warm up. Sorry, my dog is going to bark in a second. Same thing. So you're just following the red arrows counterclockwise around the pool. So the big yellow line at the bottom is the bleachers. You're going to be marshaled in that, see that gray little thin area? It's actually highlighted marshaling area. Normally, if you remember, we would have marshaled in that yellow space in front of the small pool, but we will not be using that. You will be basically lining yourself up on that little, that lower bench where it's gray. And then you will be continuing to the blocks. And then when you're out of the pool, you're going to continue over on the left side and continuing following that circle around. We are going to ask you not to travel between the pools. So you can see that there's a long turquoise color in between the two pools. I know sometimes, often, we do pass through there. We're going to ask you not to because the distance from the officials that are going to be there does not permit the distancing. Okay, so just keep following your circle around counterclockwise. Okay, next slide. Awesome. Heat sheets. I've had a couple of parents already ask me about heat sheets. We will not be posting heat sheets like we have done before. They will be emailed out. If that has changed, you will receive communication, but at this point, you will be getting an electronic version. Please make sure that you double check those heat sheets before you arrive at the pool. If you want to print off your own copy, that's fine. They are not to be shared. If you want to just jot them down, you could jot them down yourself. We will also have a plastic flip chart. If some of you guys have ever played volleyball, you've seen kind of a blue or red flip chart with numbers that go back and forth. That will indicate your event and your heat. That is going to be a new tool that we're going to use because we can't use the whiteboard to write anything down. We're not going to have anything announcing, but we are going to do our best to have that heat and event to indicate what is coming up. So it will be really important for you guys to also pay attention on what's happening. This one is really a trial run for everybody. So we're going to see how it goes. If we need to make changes next time, we will, but we're hoping that's a good indicator to help tell you guys what event and what heat we're on. So as far as marshalling, like I said, you're going to be marshaled on that bottom row closest to the blocks. And you'll basically be standing there. That will be blocked off from any swimmer to sit other than when you're being marshaled. That's where you're going to wait. The referee will then indicate when it's time for you to go over to the block to get yourself ready. We have to make sure that all of the blocks are cleared before you walk over to your block. So the swimmer before you has to be cleared of the space. We're also asking that you maintain your distancing from any of the officials that are going to be there. One thing that somebody has asked me already is, what are the officials going to look like? We are operating on a significantly reduced officials numbers. So not every lane is going to have a strokes and turns, and not every lane is going to have a timekeeper. But you are still going to have the pads in the water. Times are still going to be there. All of that is still going to be the same. You're just going to see a reduced number, but we're still going to ask you to keep your distance from any of the officials. And the officials after this will have a debriefing, so they'll know, what do they need to do amongst themselves. So as long as you're keeping your distance from the officials, then you're good to go. Again, there's going to be hand sanitizers available at the block. So the officials as well as any of the swimmers can use that. You're going to arrive to the marshalling area fully dressed. That's no warm-up pants, no warm-up jacket, nothing else. You're going to have your cap, your goggles, and you're going to come ready to go, other than your baggie, where you can take your mask off, put it in the baggie. When you come out of the pool, you put that back on. Okay. We're technically not going to have any baggies to be able to share with everybody. So please, if you feel like you might need one or two, if you feel like you're going to lose it, if you feel like 3 masks isn't enough, by all means, bring more. Just make sure you have whatever that you're going to need and come prepared. As soon as you get out of the pool and your race is done, put your mask back on and walk that circle around back to your bleachers. Again, come dressed and ready to race. Again, no warm-up gears to be left, no shoes, no nothing. You need to come up to the block ready to go. If you do need to change into a racing suit, and I don't think that at this point, I don't know, Richard, whether anybody would need to be in a racing suit right now. But Richard can definitely talk to anybody who needs to be in a racing suit. Do you want to speak to that, Richard, at all?
Yeah, we're not planning to be in race suits for this first event.
Okay. So you guys will be fine. If you do need to use the washrooms, we're just going to ask to make sure. I know it sounds silly because you're old enough to know when you need to go to the washroom, but we also need to monitor the number of people in the change room. So just make sure you're checking with the coaches. We also want to make sure that officials get a chance to use the washroom, so we're not having too many people in there at the same time. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so on the bleachers, like I said, there will be marks on the bleachers. So pick a spot, sit on that spot. You will also have to do any of your stretching and warm up. I know it's not ideal, guys, but it's what we have right now. So your warm up, you're going to have to do that on your spot. Again, not a lot of space, but try to bring only what you need so that you have a little bit more room within your 6 feet to, to have the space to warm up on the bleachers. Only one heat swimming at a time. So again, we need to make sure that everybody's cleared off the blocks before the next group goes in. So we are asking everybody to kind of move quickly so we can get as much swimming in and get it all done within the time period that we have. We talked about removing your masks, clockwise circulation. We're asking you not to congregate with other swimmers. Certainly, we want you guys to cheer each other on. We want you guys to, be excited to be back in the pool, but just be aware of peeking over each other's phones, sitting close to each other. Please make sure that we're maintaining our distancing. This is kind of our first time at this again since March of 2020. We really want to make sure that we're following the protocols, both so that the town will support us being able to continue to do this, and that Swim Ontario will also continue to allow us to race. Okay. The safety coordinator, follow the referee and any officials. They will give you instructions if things change. If there's something you need to be aware of, the referee and the officials will give you instructions while you're on deck. And then again, the safety coordinator will continue to be walking around. For the first one, there will be 2 of us. Moving forward, we may come down to 1 safety coordinator. And so we're just, if we ask you to cover your nose and your mouth with your mask, if we ask you, just to be aware of where you're sitting, we're not being mean, we're just trying to follow protocols and we're trying to ensure a safe race. Okay. Next slide.
Wondering, what about a booth? What do I do here? There are some unraveling.
Let's see. Richard, can you put the next one up? Okay. We'll get to that. So really the next one, we're just going to talk a little bit about parents. So if there's any parents that are on here, at this time, because of Swim Ontario's direction and because of the restrictions that we have with the number of swimmers or the number of people allowed on the pool deck, at this time, we are not allowed to have any spectators in the pool facility, neither watching outside nor on the pool deck. So there's no recording, there's not going to be any live streaming. We are also asking for swimmers not to record as per town's direction as far as use of any kind of photography. I know many kids probably want to record themselves so they can watch it back or just be able to have the memory, but we are asking that no one's recording anything. And unfortunately, at this time, we just can't have any spectators. At some point, as we move through the stages, there will be spectators, but at this time we cannot. Again, just as a reminder, make sure your COVID screen is done before you come onto the pool. If you're an official, you do need to complete a COVID screen. And if you're an official and you're on here at this time, there is an officials briefing following this, where we'll give you a little bit more details from an official's perspective. And results will be posted to Meet Mobile as soon as possible. So the kids can give you feedback, parents, but we will be posting to Meet Mobile as soon as we can. So, okay. And then, the consequences, unfortunately, there is a little bit disciplinary action. So we want to be transparent and let you know that as a return to swim, as a return to racing committee, and even from the direction of the town as well as Swim Ontario, is that you absolutely have to pass the COVID screen. I think we're all used to that by now. If you have any symptoms that are, not allergies or, something that's pre-existing like asthma that you already know that you have, we want to make sure that you are not arriving at the pool. If you have any other symptoms, please notify your coach as soon as possible. I know it's disappointing when you can't swim because of a symptom, but we want to make sure that everybody who is able to participate is safe. So don't attend and let your coach know ASAP. If somebody does not comply with any of the above requirements, it will be grounds for corrective action and potentially removal of the swimmer from the racing event. Parents will be informed of any swimming infractions by email and by email following the racing event by the club or their coach. So we don't want to be hard on everybody. We want to make it safe and fun, but we also want to keep everybody safe so we can keep on swimming. Okay. So I'm going to open it up to questions. Sorry. So Lauren's mom, I will respond to you after this. So thank you for your message, but I'll respond to you just after this. Does anybody have any questions, any concerns, any things that they're wondering about? For Sarah, oh, hang on, there's one here. So are the juniors racing Friday morning or Saturday morning? I'm guessing that means Saturday morning.
Inflation hitting the essential and our wallet.
So just to clarify, so Richard, you shared that Friday, at Friday is the seniors with Dorado. On
Yes.
Saturday at this time, it's just the senior development and youth. So can you talk, Richard, a little bit about timing, what time you want the seniors and then the senior dev and youth to be there? And then we'll talk about the juniors in a second.
Okay. So for Saturday, seniors will come at regular time, 5:15. However, they will end at 6:30. Senior development in U Flex, you'll need to come in around 6:30, like be outside at 6:30. You'll be warming up at 6:40. So you'll be in the building at 6:40 and then you'll be ending around 7:45, most likely. And then junior and junior development will practice at the same time. They'll be from junior is 8 to 8:50. Junior development is 9 to 9:50.
So the difference is the reason why we're not doing it as a sanctioned for the junior dev really comes down to the restrictions of what we have for a sanctioned meet. We can only do a 2-hour meet. And with the number of swimmers that we have and the restrictions that we have about timing, we simply cannot do it at this time. We're hopeful because there was an update that came through today. So we're hopeful that that will be able to change come November. Consider this a really good trial run. And what we need to do as a return to racing group is kind of submit the results. We need to get endorsements from the town. So every meet that we have, there is a form and there's documents that we need to submit so that we keep getting the green light to go forward. So unfortunately, we weren't able to make it work this time, but we are going to try to make it work moving forward. Sorry, so I'm going back to question. So I hope, Maddie, that answered your question. Where do we go after getting out of the pool? So Todd, or I don't know if that came from Todd directly, but after you get out of the pool, meaning after you're done racing from the warm up or from racing, you return directly back to the bleachers. So warm up, you're in the pool on your regular, on the regular way, the way you would get into the pool. When you get out, you keep doing that counterclockwise circle back to your bleachers. When you race, you go up to the blocks. When you get out, you go back all the way around the pool, back to your bleachers. I hope I answered that. If not, please clarify. Who are we going against? So, Richard, do you want to speak to that?
Okay. So on Friday, the senior development and junior will be racing. Well, seniors will be racing them in person, but senior development and junior will be racing them virtually. The Dorado Stars, they're our team from Caledon. So just, I believe, just north of Brampton.
Okay, I hope we answered that question, Max. So if not, if you have more, just let us know. Sarah, what is the time for the race for junior development? So again, junior development comes in at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, not regular practice time. You'll be.
Yeah. Okay, so hopefully that answered that one. To recap, we are not allowed to wear racing suits. Richard, can I pass that one to you?
Yeah, we're not wearing racing suits for this event. It's still very early in the season. We'll have racing opportunities later in the season that we will suit up for.
Okay. There's a comment there from Mavis. Warm-up starts at 3:15 for MMST and 3:40 for Dorado. For Dorado, are we supposed to arrive at our designated time or when warm-up starts overall?
I'm in a meeting now, Kelly.
Let's come at 3:15. If you're coming from Dorado, we'll have everyone come in the building together and then you'll wait on the bleachers.
And if you're from Dorado, we are going to ask you to do that COVID screen as well. Okay. Sorry, if we can mute, if you can mute yourself. I know that we have all got things in the background, so. Do we wear racing suits? Richard's already answered that. Is this meet official? Yes, it is a sanctioned meet. The times count. Okay. What time does the duel end on Friday, Richard?
It'll end at regular practice time.
Okay. Junior is racing Friday at their morning practice virtually, Richard?
Yes, so just during the regular practice time, they're going to be doing a 100 and 2 relays.
All right. And Ozzy Osbourne's asking an awesome question. I love that. Where would the times be posted after the meet? So if you have Meet Mobile, they will be posted there. Other than that, Richard, would there be an alternate way for parents to view it?
Um,
No, I
if
think it's just Meet
if
Mobile.
Wing manually prints the results or like creates the results from Meet Manager, I believe we'll be able to send that out.
Okay. So ideally, if you've got the Meet Mobile app, that's probably the easiest and probably most accurate way of getting them in a timely manner. Okay. Will these times count for the rest of the meet as well? Again, these are sanctioned times. So yes, this time, if you're doing a 50 free, that will be your 50 free with October 16th as the date. And then you can continue build on that from there. What is your regular practice time? I'm not sure what that means or which group. So again, the seniors and the senior devs and the youth are going to be going together, and the junior devs come in at their regular time. Is the dual sanctioned or is it only the in-house meet? Go ahead, Richard.
The duel is unsanctioned and the in-house meet is sanctioned for senior development and youth flex.
Okay. Alex asked the same question, so no, that's done. Okay. Okay. Anybody else? No. Okay. I want to thank everybody for being patient going through this. I know that there's a lot going on. I know that there's a lot of things that we're still going to learn. And hopefully working together, we'll have a great first race. If you guys have any questions, Richard, is it okay if I lean on you a little bit and then Richard can get back to us if there's any questions?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, great. Okay, so if there is an official that is on here who is actually signed up to be an official this weekend, we will end this Zoom call and then follow the Zoom link. I will fix my technical difficulties and we'll see you again in about 10 minutes, 7:45. We're doing the officials. Okay. Thanks, everyone.
This summer, Attorney General Merrick Garland extended federal legislation allowing the Justice Department to pursue its policy.
Job, Tanya.
Oh, that was tricky.
It's Sarah. No, you did great. You did great.
My I don't know why my computer.
Sorry, I couldn't change the slides because my Zoom is frozen. So just
That's okay. No,
I was
appreciate
changing on my screen. It was changing, but people were saying it wasn't. Nothing was happening. So sorry about that.
That's okay, Richard. When you get a chance.